I am Sarah, and I survived a rapist. Back in days, when I was just 18 years old, me and the rest of my friends used to spend the weekend at an old abandoned factory in our town. It had the vibes any teenager would dream of. Lots of space to wander around, with tons of stuff to do with their old abandoned machines. And the best of it all is, it had electricity, so it wasn't that spooky factory as you'd think of it. Anyways, one day, we were all gathering there to play cards, and as I was getting ready for my turn, a creepy guy approached us. Let's call him Robbie. He was talking casually to my friends, so I assumed that they've met before. He had a pale white skin and a skin-shaved head, but what was more noticeable is that he had some fresh bruises on his face. He introduced himself to me. I told him my name is Sarah, and that I was 18 years old. And from that point, Robbie started showing his creepy side. I guess hearing that I was just 18 was as a green light to him to start approaching me. Anyways, after a few minutes, Robbie started an endless complaining about how much of a dumb bitch his girlfriend is, and how he came just to avoid being around her. But it was obvious to all of us that this pathetic man didn't break up with this girl because she was his only source of income and shelter. He was broke, and that was obvious. He also bragged about how he stole a knife from Walmart. He even tried to hand me the knife for some reason, but I totally refused to even touch it. Then he did what I never expected him to do. He politely asked me to get his phone off the charger. Sounds totally normal, right? That's what I thought. 'Cause the moment I reached his phone, I figured out that he already had a notes app open, and it read,
"Hey, I know this sounds creepy, but I think we should totally date."
There was a whole paragraph after it, but I had enough at this point. He expected some sort of response, so I gave him one.
Oh no, I'm not really interested in a relationship.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Still friends?
Sure.
What was I supposed to say? I just couldn't say no to the guy who got a knife on him and has a fresh fighting bruise all over his face. Neither of my two friends heard our conversation, so I was stuck next to Robbie until our game session was over. During that time, I offered Robbie some candies. They weren't my favorite thing in the world, but the Dollar Tree nearby has good prices. He laughed and said to me,
"Food is the way to a man's heart. Are you trying to seduce me right now?"
You can say it's a joke and doesn't have any deeper meaning than that. But coming from a man like him just didn't seem right. And when I left the factory after the game session had ended, I told my friends what had happened. They believed me and told me he was kind of a weird guy. It was the last time I saw him in person, as after a month or so from that day, a girl from our school went missing. Then a week after, his face was all over the news. He was the kidnapper of the schoolgirl. And not just that, the investigations led to the fact that Robbie was not just kidnapping and raping the girls of our neighborhood, but he, in fact, used them as his pets. His own fucking pets. They even found a footage from his own home camera where he beats up a girl on the stairs. The same girl I used to see in the factory a few months ago, and thought she'd just move out of town. I guess the girlfriend he was talking about that day wasn't even a girlfriend, but just another girl he kept as a pet.